Hey, what's up guys? Sir Emanon here, and welcome to another feature match commentary on the channel today. So this time it's going to be for round 6 of the current online Discord tournament that I'm hosting. So this is actually going to be featuring some road decks actually. We got Purple Midnight here on Invoked Mekk-Knight versus NWYRKRB on Shaddoll Invoked Dogmatika. There we go. So both players are on Invoked variants today, so it should be pretty interesting. And before we get started, of course, if you guys do want to partake in the next tournament, definitely drop by the Discord server. Link is going to be in the description as usual. And there you'll be able to hopefully partake in the next tournament, which will be after the ban list. Konami, please release it soon. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to see Shaddoll Invoked Dogmatika win the RPS. Going to be opting to go first here. And it's going to be 40 versus 41 cards. The opening hand for Shaddoll Invoked Dogmatika is Imperm, Punishment, Meltdown, Schism, and Shaddoll Dogmatika. So this hand is pretty decent. It has the Invoked part of the engine, and it actually has all three engines. It has the Dogmatika stuff and the Shaddoll stuff too, but the other engines don't have like the immediate starter cards. Punishment can be a starter, but it also turns off the other engines as well. And then there's also a hand trap, which is pretty good. So this is a decent hand. And then for Invoked Mekk-Knight, we have Gamma, Invocation, Dark Magician, Gamma, Droplet. Oh, this is a very bad hand. Although actually Invocation in this matchup is probably going to be pretty good because you can fuse from Grave, obviously. And because he has Gamma, it's going to be enough to stop this turn, I think. Because like if you get your Alistair Gamma, do you just have to pass with like a couple of set cards, and then you can like Invocation. So this actually is not terrible. We'll see how this ends up working. Gonna activate Meltdown, that's gonna search for Alistair. And then going to normal summon the Alistair, that's going to get Gammaed. Pretty unsurprising. Gotta stop that. And then set Imperm and Punishment and Schism and just pass turn. Cypherms get banished. And we're gonna see. Oh my god, another Gamma. That is really, really unlucky. At the very least, it's just free fodder for Invocation, right? So you like Invocation, banish the Alistair, and then summon Gamma. Get rid of Gamma to summon Hcabe. But there's also a punishment here. And this can send a Titanic Clad to get the Dogmatika stuff online. So, yeah, I feel like that's going to happen. So he's actually going to declare battle phase here. Probably like trying to buff it evenly. End of battle phase. Alright, just going to main phase 2. Alright, he's going to set Droplet. The mind games in chat. He's gonna set Droplet and pass here. Okay, so maybe holding on Invocation. I guess he's figuring out that Hcabe is not gonna be enough to win the game, and it's likely to get outed anyway. So like maybe just holding for his own invoked engine so he can actually use the Invocation to recycle it, which is also fair. For turn, we're gonna see a top deck draw. Geez, these just not very good draws. The Schism is alive now though. If you just like normal the Schemata or like set it. So that's like decent, but we'll see what happens. Again, normal Schemata, go battle phase, and just attack for 18. Not really a whole lot to be said or done about that. It's gonna pass. Return, draw another copy of Imperm. Jeez, these bricks. Really unlucky. Gonna set Imperm and then use the Invocation. And then chain Schism to that. So that can now banish the Alistair so it doesn't resolve. And then puts a window. But that's actually not too bad either, because obviously he's not going to be doing anything anyways, and the Schism will make so that the window can't attack directly. So that's not too bad. Just going to pass on that. Draw another copy of Imperm, so both players really not finding anything. Going to normal summon Droll, and then going to link away for Verite Anaconda. Okay, so this can actually get somewhere, although there's multiple disruptions here. Anaconda, gonna pay 2,000 and send for cost a Red Ice Fusion. So he's on the Dream package too. So there's a lot of engines in here. And then going to chain Imperm. Targeting the Verite. There is a Shaddoll engraved, so you could chain Schism here. Right, they are gonna chain the Schism. And then he's gonna chain the Droplet in response. And then that's gonna negate the Verite. So yeah, that is gonna effectively cancel out the Verite effect, but it'll still allow for Schism to resolve. Alright, so we're going to see another Winda. This one also can't attack. Very, very interesting game state right here. No players, or neither player is able to really get that far, just because they didn't really open that well. Gonna pass on that. For turn, we're gonna see a top deck purple Nightfall. That would have been good if there was still background to set, but unfortunately these are like probably the worst cards in the entire deck to have in hand right now. Just gonna pass. For turn, oh, he draws a copy of Alistair. That's gonna be the game. Yeah, not really any way to interact with that. Normal Alistair, and then use the effect for Invocation. You just go into like any link to. Actually, there's not really a way to make Hcabe here though. There's no lights. So this win is gonna actually kind of be a little tricky to work around. Huh? So maybe it actually isn't game. We'll see what the play is. I wonder if he's on Raijin. Nope, just gonna go battle phase and hit for 1k. Alright, so this game is not over. Alright, we're gonna see top deck blue. Jeez, man. This is frustrating just to look at. Like, so many potential plays with the Mekk-Knights, but just no columns to set it up. Playing successfully around the Mekk-Knights here. Not setting the impermanence well. Just gonna pass. Draw into Deer Servant. Alright, that's gonna help accelerate the game quite a lot. Servant is gonna be activated. That's gonna send Apgalone to search a copy of Ecclesia. Then Apgalone could trigger. That's gonna grab Beast, and then discard Beast. And then that's going to draw another Servant. Not gonna be super relevant. Looks like that's a normal summon Ecclesia. That's gonna grab before you release. Then you can special it, and then that's gonna be 5k. Yeah, it's gonna be 6k. That's gonna be game. He's just gonna show the double gamma and then scoop. That feels so bad. But moving to game 2. If you guys are enjoying the commentary, definitely be sure to leave a like in the video, as well as subscribe if you are new here and enjoy this style of video. But we're going to see game 2, Mekk-Knight Invoked going second. Yeah, as is tradition. The opening hand for Shaddoll is going to be Joel, Gamma, Ash, Servant, Lancia. So 4 hand traps plus Nadir Servant. I mean, if there's any card you want to see with 4 hand traps, it's this one. So, I mean, hey, that's not a bad hand at all by any means. And then for Mekk-Knight Invoked, it's going to be Droplet, Alistair, Cosmic, Mind Control, and Red Ice Fusion. Red Ice Fusion will be pretty interesting here. We'll have to see if this ends up being outed, because there is an Ash in hand. So we'll see if there's like any way to possibly bait it first. Going to go ahead and activate Nadir Servant. That's going to send Apgalone. Search a copy of Ecclesia, and then the Apgalone can trigger. That'll grab Wendy to hand and then send it away. So that'll be activated to grab a copy of Hedgehog. So not going for like the Maximus Schism stuff. Just going to be going for the more, I guess, a grindier approach, because this will likely be able to search a Shaddoll Fusion, and that'll be very good for later. Probably pretty confident in like 5 interruptions here. Ecclesia is going to be normal summon next. That's going to grab a copy of Fleur-de-Lis. So yeah, 5 interruptions. I mean, pretty good here. For turn, we're going to see a top deck Yellow Star. That is not going to be very useful here. It is a light monster though, so that's not actually that bad. Gonna enter main phase 1. Gonna mind control the Ecclesia. That takes care of the Fleur-de-Lis. And there's actually not really any way to respond to that. Actually, Gamma's offline right now, so there's only really 4 interruptions prior to that. But yeah, so that gets rid of 1 interruption, the guaranteed one. Get a normal Alistair next. Use that effect. That is going to be okay, actually. Just gonna drop Joel afterwards. Or it chooses not to. Okay. Maybe just anticipating there's not like any other supplementary engines, I guess. Because this actually isn't Invoked Dogmatika, so there's less searching, although there is still purple and blue. Gonna link away for a copy of Verite Anaconda. And then use Invocation. That's gonna get Lancia'd. Alright, yeah, so the draw I don't think is gonna end up actually mattering here. Then gonna use the Verite Anaconda. That's gonna pay 2,000 and send another Red Ice Fusion. So this is like one of those sort of like OCG-esque Invoked Mekk-Knight builds. Or like just Invoked builds that play multiple copies of Fusion, or Red Ice Fusion, and probably Magicalized too. Just like with a higher emphasis on the Dragoon stuff. Gonna set Red Eyes in DM. That's going to go ahead and summon a copy of Dragoon. Dragoon gonna pop the Hedgehog. That's gonna allow for a search for Shaddoll monster. Definitely better to search a monster if you're like from this point of view. Like if you're your opponent, like you'd rather them search a copy of a monster rather than a Shaddoll Fusion for sure. This is gonna add or copy of Squamata. Battle phase going to attack for 35. And then main phase 2 going to set Droplet and Cosmic and pass turn. Kind of interesting that he's not like setting up his own Mekk-Knight columns. Because he could just like set a back row here. For turn we're going to see another Ash. That's like one of the hand traps that wasn't used. So not really a whole lot of plays here. Like you can summon Fleur-de-Lis and then like try and crash, but there's no way that's going to be like going through. Gonna activate Fleur-de-Lis. That's gonna be okay. Battle phase, try and attack and use the effect. Damage step, we're gonna see Droplet be used. That's gonna send away the Verte and then have the Fleur-de-Lis. And that's gonna be a scoop right there. Alright, yeah. With no other plays, like there was not really anything that Shaddoll could have done. Not really any power cards. They're just all hand traps. So game number 3 here, we're gonna see Shaddoll go first. And the opening hand is going to be Shaddoll Fusion, Lancia, Dragon, Forbidden Droplet, and Red Ice Black Dragon. A little bit surprising, actually, that he chose to go first here, just because, like, obviously the Shaddoll stuff is really good going second, but, I mean, you're also in a matchup where, like, you're fine if you go second, too. Although, I guess his hand has Red Ice Fusion. But, yeah, you invade the board with, like, the Deer Servant and stuff as well, so would have been interesting to see if he went second. But this hand is not great. Like, you can go for Winda, or you can go for, like, Construct, but like, you do, like, the one Shaddoll that doesn't do anything going first either. So I do wonder if he's going to just hold the Shaddoll Fusion, or if he's just going to go for it. And then for Invoked Mekk-Knight, we're going to see Meltdown, Cosmic Cyclone, Red Ice Fusion, Invocation, and Droplet. So this has the Invoked stuff, no Mekk-Knights, no hand traps either. And again, drawing like the fusion with the Meltdown here. No mind control this time either, so not really any easy Anaconda plays. We'll see what ends up happening. Maybe here's one. Alright, he is going to go for Shaddoll Fusion. So he's going to go for Construct here. Sending away the Lancia and the Dragon. That's going to summon out a Construct. Construct will then trigger. That's going to send a copy of Hedgehog to add a copy of Wendy to hand. Then he's going to normal the Wendy. And then link away for Anaconda. That's going to let Construct add back the Shaddoll Fusion. Yep, there we go. And then use Anaconda, pay 2,000 to send Red Ice Fusion and the materials to summon out Dragoon. I mean, I guess it's like more pressure than just Lancia trying to sit in it. And he did end up with the Shaddoll Fusion back in hand as well, so that could be used later. This is like not horrible, it's just, I wouldn't feel too great about this setup. And then for turn, we're going to see a top deck Feather Duster. That's going to be pretty good. So you can like Feather Duster away, that deals with the Droplet. You can like summon your own Dragoon, then you can like Droplet their Dragoon. Yeah, this is really good. Main phase 1, going to activate Meltdown. That's going to search for a copy of Alistair. And then going to... Alright, so he's going to opt to Red Ice Fusion right now. We'll see if that gets negated by the Dragoon. Maybe you're feeling okay about this because you also have your own Droplet. So it's gonna be like a Droplet battle here. Yeah, because like, I'm pretty sure that we want to keep the Shaddoll Fusion just to be able to, you know, use it later. But I mean, if your objective is to out the Dragoon anyways, then it's kind of like a moot point, and he's not summoning anything else. It's kind of a weird game state here for sure, because he just doesn't have any resources as follow-up if he like uses Dragoon Negate. But again, even if he does use or doesn't use it, like, this isn't really going to be getting anywhere if the Dragoon is outed this turn via Droplet, so it's very, very strange from both players, like, just the way their hand's shaped up. Not that they're playing weird at all, but it's like a weird decision to make. Gonna go ahead and send materials to summon out Dragoon. That's gonna be used to pop the Verte. So I guess you could chain the Droplet in response. And then negate the Dragoon, so then Dragoon can't negate the Droplet, because you're sending away a monster. But then he can just use his own Droplet. It's like so much weird stuff happening. Oh, he's just gonna let that go through. So he's gonna just Droplet the Fusion from here? You have to use Droplet, right? Like, at some point, because he's gonna Droplet here. Man, there's just so much happening. Alright, battle phase. We're gonna see Dragoon attack. And then damage step. He's gonna try an Alistair, but he can't because this can't be targeted. Hopefully they catch that. Okay, yeah, they do. Okay. Yeah, so this can't be targeted. So you're going to proceed. Damage step, going to use Droplet. That's going to send away Shaddoll Fusion. So he can't respond with Droplet, but he can negate the Droplet with Dragoon, right? And then that just beats over this. But then, yeah, and then there's no way to negate the Dragoon with this Dragoon here. So you just Dragoon negate, and I think you win the game, right? He's gonna try and chain his own Droplet, but he can't because the spell was sent. Okay, they catch that too. Okay, good. I mean, I feel like if you just use Dragoon, it's fine as well. I mean, also this could have all been avoided if you just use the Feather Duster. I mean, it's okay to use it as an MST. Because, like, your opponent just has such few cards anyway. You need a card in hand with Shaddoll Fusion. So it's like, you knew everything that was going to be, you know, working with. Or that he was going to be working with. But, oh, looks like he's just going to take it. So it's got a bit interesting now. We'll see what ends up happening. I mean, he's definitely not out of the game. Because he still has his own Droplet. And his opponent just doesn't have any cards. Gonna set Cosmic and Droplet and pass. He's gonna draw another Droplet. How many times have they said Droplet this game? Jeez. It's gonna go to battle phase, I guess. Attack for 3k. And then pass to keep the negate live. And then gonna draw another copy of Meltdown. That is pretty decent. Normal summon Alistair. Effect to search a copy of Invocation. And then he's going to activate Invocation. It can't be negated because of Meltdown. You can still attempt, but it just won't be negated. And then gonna chain Droplet to send away Alistair, right? Yeah. Alright, there we go. So it was outed anyways. And then a Resolution Invocation gonna banish the Lancia that was in grave, plus the Alistair. That's gonna get Mekk-Knight. Invocation, and that's gonna recycle back the Alistair. This Dragoon, I believe, is just on 3k, because it wasn't ever used. Or, I mean, it was originally on 3k, but now on 15 because of the Droplet. But yeah, didn't ever receive the boost. So Hcabe just gonna attack over it, and then that's gonna be the end of the turn. For turn, we can see a Meltdown. That can be Cosmic. Activate Meltdown, chain Cosmic, and that's, yeah, it's gonna be game right there. So pretty interesting series of games here. We didn't really get to see the Shaddoll deck grind super hard, but we got to see some interesting back and forth gameplay. I don't think either player opened like really ever super optimally. So it's kind of interesting just to see what happened from that kind of perspective. A lot of hand traps in game 2 for Shaddoll, and in game 3, just not really having enough resources to push. Like if you're going first, you want to see like Punishment, Meltdown, Alistair, instead of like Shaddoll Fusion. So yeah, just didn't draw the right combination of cards for going first. But that's going to be it for the game, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like as well as any thoughts or feedback in the comments. Subscribe for more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you want to, you can follow me on all social media platforms or support me via Patreon or TCG Player. All links are in the description as always. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.